What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up, you guys? Happy midday explosion. Happy Saturday.
Let's go.
Let's go. We have Ashlyn in the studio today. Yes, we do.
It's a family affair.
That's right. Boss lady is here. She promises to be quiet. We'll see how that works out. We have Ramon backstage. He is ready to get on and talk to you guys. I am ready for him. Tony, are you ready?
I am almost ready.
Tonio is almost ready. Let's go, you guys. I want you guys to share, and share and subscribe. If you're on YouTube, make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel and like the video. If you're on Facebook, make sure you like it on Facebook and share it with others who are interested in investing in real estate this year, who are interested in
getting off the sideline
and getting into the game. Absolutely. So share it with everyone you know. Let's get into it. Get your questions ready and let's get it popping. Y'all tell me if y'all in the chats. I need to know if y'all ready in the chats. Let's go, you guys. So listen, Ashlyn immediately, when the video came on, said she had to use the restroom. Like, we didn't already go through this episode before we even got on live. We said, Ashlyn, do you need to go to the restroom? And she said, no, I don't have to go. As soon as the video came on, I have to go. So we're back. You guys, I want to introduce Ramon Tukes. Ramon has been such a vital inspiration to our life, to our business, to our career. We met Ramon in 2018-ish. I think it was 2018. It was 2018. Ramon did a tour, and I'll tell you why. Ramon did a tour in Birmingham, was one of the stops, and he was finding local investors, local title companies, local banks, local everything as it involved real estate. And he was putting them in a room, inviting people in, and his assistant at that time, Jill, was inviting us to come look. Well, not come look, to come to the event, but Ramon was inviting us to be on the panel the next day, and it was so crazy. But since then, we have really leaned on Ramon for a lot of things.
A lot. I just want to say a lot.
A lot. And we just can't have a midday explosion without Ramon. So, Ramon, welcome to the Midday Explosion.
Thank you. What's up? Happy Saturday.
Happy Saturday. The week is over that quick.
Man, went by fast this week.
At least we got a long weekend.
No, we don't.
Oh, we don't.
Long weekend. Listen to me. Long weekend equals kids longer.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. That means
what's up, y'all?
What you been up to, man? What you got going on, man?
Man, just admiring y'all, being inspired by y'all, continue to work, growing every day.
Growing every day.
Every single day, learning something new.
What's up, LaShawn?
How you doing? How you doing?
Kathy said, "Hey, you guys."
I got a little joke, Miss LaShawn. Was that hey for us or was that hey for Ramon? You know, because I know you know both of us. So was that more like hey to Ramon?
She'll tell us hey in a minute. Why is your phone always on loud?
Who that? Antonio phone?
All right.
Yes. As soon as you unlock the phone, it just goes to Facebook and the video. Why?
Are you on my phone?
Because I'm doing with Yas.
You know,
so
that's real love, y'all. You know what I mean? I can't wait to one day somebody have my code to my phone.
Look, if I did not take his ID, look, Ramon, I just put it next to his face and make it unlock on his own.
Oh man. All right. So tell us, who is Ramon Toots and why has he carved a niche as an expert in the real estate world?
And what? That's a good question, man. I am a kid from Atlanta, Georgia, man, that has enjoyed real estate. And I didn't think about how much I enjoyed it as a kid until we started really talking about it as an adult. But I've been in the industry now, man, 28 years. I started off as a bird dog. And I was pushed into real estate. Like my dad, I wanted to make some money. And so my dad pushed, like, go, try this out. So I started off as a bird dog with a real estate license. I knew I wasn't going to be a traditional agent. I didn't, my voice wasn't like when I first started, they had us on the telephones. I was in the office and I knew I didn't fit in. So I started going into the hood. Like I knew people in the hood. I was comfortable in the hood. I was door knocking. I was 18, 19 years old, man. I didn't mind talking to Miss Mary because we grew up in the areas that people are saying have been gentrified now. And I just started looking for investors. And the first year, probably did 9 or 10 deals. The second year, I did 100 deals. It was like it just was automatic. But we were getting $500, $1,000 a deal. It wasn't like wholesaling. It's evolved, man. That was 28 years ago, and it's evolved tremendously. There's probably somebody that could have taught us something differently, but I was just going out. I would meet people like you guys, and you would say, "Listen, I need this deal," and I'll go find it. Give me $1,000. But that money was coming so fast, especially that second year. And then I started to get into buying whole. Didn't know anything about fixing and flipping. It was not sexy. Nobody was talking about it. Wasn't no TV shows. We were still putting ads in the newspaper. Wasn't no internet. Again, it was about buying whole because that's what I had seen all my life. Like the guy that had the money was the guy that owned the apartment building. So that's what I wanted to do. So I started off buying holding, and then probably 3 years later did my first flip. And then it's just evolved from there. And honestly, I love it. Like when I was on the phone with somebody earlier and I said, I really love this business. Like I don't like the paperwork side, but I like, being out in the field. I like meeting people. You know what I mean? I like seeing people go from, I'm just getting started to their first deal, to their 10th deal. Like all of it excites me, man. So that's, that's me. Like, again, we think real estate. I think me,
I totally agree. I think the paperwork side may excite me a little more.
I agree.
And it has to be a balance to it. So I think that side definitely excites me more. Ramon, tell me let's see. You want to go deep today or you want to go?
We can go all the way deep.
We can go all the way deep. All right.
Why not? It's Midday Explosion.
Tell me.
Midday Explosion, motivation, baby.
What was your biggest mistake or failure? You can pick which one.
Ooh. I don't know if I want to say biggest. I got a few of them. But you know what? I can say, I won't say failure because I don't think I've ever failed. Have I made mistakes? Yeah. So mistakes, I'll give you a couple of them. One of the biggest mistakes is back in, I'm going to say 2001, people forget about when 9/11 hit, we had a market correction. I was strong enough to go through it pretty quickly, but then I didn't learn anything from it. So when '08 hit, '08 through 10, I got beat up really bad. I thought I was Superman, for 10 years, 10, 12 years straight. We had done very, very well. So I thought, for some kind of way I was arrogant, like it wasn't for me, you know what I mean? But a lot of people, we didn't have any mentors. We didn't have anybody to guide us. My lenders was saying, hey, man, stop paying your mortgages. And I was still, paying mortgages. I was doing some development stuff. So I think, early on, that was probably my biggest mistake, not listening and then not having the right mentors. I learned a lot self-taught. I didn't go to a lot of conferences. I just got out there and did it. Well, I kind of outgrinded any kind of mistakes I was gonna make. And then if that's probably my biggest mistake, one, but my biggest mistake two is not trusting people, not building that team like I'm supposed to build it, not delegating. And that has kept me from going to $1 billion company. And I know it at this point. So and again, the guy I was talking to this morning talked about it. We was like, what's the difference between us and the day, because they pulled up to one of our properties and they were looking to buy it, but they were kind of disrespectful. But they were, I won't say it the right way. They were a hard money lender looking to buy a property, and they almost didn't shake my hand. And I was like, I almost wanted to say the wrong word, but I was being professional. But I understood, one, I probably shouldn't be selling this property. But that's the way we grow our business. And they, on the other side, is about the same age as me, a couple of years older, and they probably have $200 million under management. And the only difference is they had better systems in place and they delegated. And so I think if I had to say my biggest mistake, is not delegating trusting.
That was deep. That was deep.
That was tough. Okay.
Lessons learned. Thank you for sharing.
Yes, sir.
Hopefully that helps somebody not make the same mistake you made, or at least shortcut that learning curve so they don't have to go through it. A lot of people that follow us are new investors. They are aspiring investors. They are looking to get their first deal under contract, whether that's a wholesale, a flip, whatever they're trying to do. They're just trying to get into the game.
Trying to get in the game.
What advice would you give that person?
To join your program, to be at your event. No, I mean, seriously, even if you've done a deal, get in the right program, right? Get with the Denmarks, because here's what's going to happen. Not only are you going to get with great networks, but you're going to get great resources. And then you got somebody that's doing it. And then if they haven't done it, they have people they can reach out to get your question answered. So you really got the cheat code by being on here, by saying, what should I do? I wouldn't be out here looking at oh man, such and such got 100 deals. No, the Denmarks can help you get to where you got to go. Don't compare yourself to nobody, but get in the program, get to the event that's coming up.
Thank you, Ramon. I did not tell Ramon to say
no,
that.
No. I'm not selling, but the people that sit on the sidelines sometimes outthink it. Sometimes they will look for the biggest name in the headlights. And I've had people that go to events, spend their last money to go to these huge events, and then come back and call me and say, man, well, what about? And I always tell them, well, what about you call them and ask them, you paid them. You're not getting out of me for free. That's one thing that I've learned over time. You're not going to pimp me, because I've been pimped for a long time, and I'm not being pimped no more. And so you come to our program, one of our programs, you're going to get what you need. Even if it don't happen, if your goal is 90 days and it take 180 days, we're going to be there with you. And that's the difference between what the Denmarks do, what we do, as a family, as a team, than most programs out here. And I don't knock anybody's program, but I know that when you on the sidelines looking to jump in, you need that closeness. You need that feel. You need that guidance, because if not, it's a lot of lessons to be learned out here.
It's a lot of, and I like to say, we talk about the program. I like to always say, man, we are not necessarily real estate coaches first. We are investors first.
Yes.
I still understand going on. We still looking for deals. That's our bread and butter.
We still have a pulse on the market.
We understand the market. So it's one thing going to the big guru, and one day I'm probably gonna be looked at as that. But I think that if you join somebody's program, you want to join somebody's program that in the market today that's still doing deals, not somebody who did deals 10 years ago and they just talking about it now.
Yeah,
Frank said, hey, good people.
Little things do change. But you know what it's like? It's like a boxer, or I'm gonna say a boxer that was a champion, but he'd been off a year. Normally they take a tune-up fight, right? And so when I compare that to what we do, is because if you stay active, you always in shape, and I can adjust to whatever coming at me, right? So a lot of people want to take a few years off, and they learn from people that took a few years off. Where this minor adjustments can make or break your success. It can make or break like how you get to level from A to B. And I ain't saying A to Z, right? Because there's different things that get you from A to B to C. That's why numbers and alphabet go in order. Like some people want to go from A to Z. They want to say, you know what, I'm starting today and I'm gonna be where Antonio is tomorrow. And you could be with the tutelage and the guidance of Antonio and Ashley. You could go from A, but I'm telling you, it's gonna be very difficult to go from A to Z. Because guess what? We ain't even at Z yet. We still at over.
And you should never be at Z.
Agree.
Should never. That thing gonna move. That thing. They add some letters in there sometimes, but you know, people have to understand that's why you join somebody and get with somebody just like you guys that are very active, not just kind of active. Y'all are. That's it. That's the life. There ain't no plan B. It's it.
Ain't no plan. Ain't no plan B.
It's a wrap.
You know you talk to Antonio too much when you say that.
It is what it is. Ain't no plan B.
All right. I got a question to let you go. All right.
Wait, I want to go to Frank's question.
All right.
I think this question goes for all of us. So, Ramon, Frank says, when do we take off?
Take off? So do you mean take off like retire, or take off like during the year?
Go on work.
When do you rest?
So it depends on what you consider rest. So some people, let me back up. I love the business. So sometimes I'm doing the business and it's like you playing golf. And so some people look at it like it's work. But I look at, like, when I go look at a deal, when I go out of town and look at a deal, it's the equivalent of when you go out and have drinks with your friends, or when you go out and you play golf, or you go skiing, right? Now, when do we take a break? We have to take breaks. You have to take some weekends off. I'm learning how to do that better. But I think you plan it just like if you're working a 9 to 5. You say, you know what, I'm going to take spring break with the kids. I'm going to go on a boys trip. I'm going to go on a girls trip. Don't look at it as like, man, I'm my own boss, so I'm gonna be balling out and I'm gonna go. No, you're not gonna make it, especially first starting off. Like if you decide you your own boss and because you made that check for 50 grand, that 50 grand to get ate up so fast. So you still gotta treat it like a 9 to 5, and I'm gonna say a 9 to 9, not a 9 to 5, until you got to where you at a point where you got passive income and it's covering your bills.
Absolutely. So for us, I'm just going to be completely transparent. I can take off from real estate, but sometimes I don't take off from marketing because I'll have an aha moment that'll come while I'm in the bed when I'm supposed to be sleeping. I'll pull out Canva and I'll design something really quick. And when Tony will wake up in the morning, I'm like, look. He's like, when did you do this? Well, I couldn't sleep.
That happened this morning.
Couldn't really sleep. So I create things when I can't sleep because my mind is constantly turning. It's constantly running. Do I cut it off sometimes? Yeah, I try to cut it off, especially on Saturdays. So the Midday Explosion is probably the only work-related thing we're going to really do today because Saturday is family day. So we'll take the kids somewhere. We'll have some fun. We'll go run at the park. We'll get some fresh air. We'll go to the mall. We'll do things like that on Saturdays. Sundays is church. The only other thing we do outside of church on Sundays is take kids to practice. They have either basketball or cheerleading practice. But that's it. So the weekends usually are downtime. But I'm not saying we're not doing any real estate.
Yeah.
It's hard. It's really hard for me to say I'm just gonna take off, because I love it. Let's say I'm out of town. I'm gonna tell y'all what happens. I go out of town and I'm like sitting around and I'm like, dang, you know what? I want to go see a loft in my or New York, or so it's not. It's a difference, and when you're in it, you're gonna understand what I'm saying. Or if I'm driving up the street and there's a for sale sign, it's an old for sale sign, I'm probably gonna turn around or slow down in the middle of the street and pull over and get the number, and then I'm gonna start calling, then start looking in the area. So it's a difference than take off. I think, like you said, you should take a day off or some hours off, but just completely taking off, man. Really, most of us can't afford it.
I don't think my brain works well with a takeoff. Just honestly, like I am programmed to do more, not be satisfied with self. And it's not a competition with others. It's how much can I challenge myself? What can I do? What kind of challenge can I set for myself? And then how can I reach it? How can I be better this year than I was last year? How can I 10 times what I did last year, this year? But how can I do it now with less people? Not with less, well, yeah, with less people and better systems. I think that's usually what goes on in my head. Like, okay, what kind of automation can I create? What kind of trigger can I create? Why Antonio thinks sometimes that drives me crazy, but it drives me crazy. If I don't succeed, it drives me crazy.
Gotcha.
You know, I post, and that's one of my good morning posts, and I said, we've been disrespectful to God when we are living average. And I don't mean material things. I mean not living out like our purpose and using our resources, like being a good steward of our resources. So, some people equate that to like, oh man, I'm living, and I mean, I got a 10,000 square foot house. Well, everybody don't want a 10,000 square foot house. You know what I mean? But I mean, like using like you saying, your gift. You are like a genius. So you sitting around just looking out the window, watching whatever show, instead of using that creativity, you're gonna lose it. Like it's gonna be something that I believe that not punished, but we won't reach our maximum in life if you're not being a good steward of that. And your brain turning like that, you're a genius. So why wouldn't it turn? You know what I mean? That's why you got it. That's why he gave it to you. Because imagine this. There's a lot of people, and no knock on nobody, there's a lot of people that are not, their brain, let me say, they're not 50% as creative and organized as you are. And so they're never going to get to where you're going. But he didn't give them that brain. They may be somebody that can go out in the field and frame a house in 3 minutes. Whereas I'm not going to frame a house in 3 minutes. So all of us are here and got something special. Your special is you can take paperwork and ideas and, really make them be what they're supposed to be. That's not my specialty. That's not what I'm great at. So everybody got their own thing. So I think when you start talking about resting and taking a break, you may not supposed to take one, but so often,
Mm-hmm.
Gotcha. Hey, if you got questions for Ramon, drop your question in. If you like what you're saying, don't forget to like and share the video. I got a question that I seen Frank put something and Shanta put something.
Let me say, Shanta say real quick, just very said.
All right, go.
Shanta said, I swear, I log on the ish AM. Ramon is grinding. I'd be like, let's go.
I got a question for you, and we deep over here, and we gotta make a name. I don't know what it is, but man, what's some of the sacrifices you had to make to get where you are?
Woo. You know what? When. So sometimes I look back and people talk about sacrifices. I don't think I really ever sacrificed things, because when I look at things, let's say, I'm gonna give you some examples. I have done things with the kids, right? And I'll say with the kids or family. And I don't call it a sacrifice because that's what I'm supposed to do. So like, do I miss many games or practices? No. Do I have to work later? So if I had to pick a sacrifice, maybe it's some sleep. Maybe it's, I don't know, maybe it's some material thing that I thought I wanted. Like I want a convertible savings Chevelle, right? And could I get one? Yeah. But I send it to my kids. You know what I do? When I'm online, I go to Chevelle USA and I forward stuff to them on Instagram. And so like when they see me, they be like, Daddy, we got it. And I tell them all the time, I don't want cologne and ties and socks for my birthdays and Father's Day. Y'all actually gonna buy me some Chevelles and 55 Chevys and because what we're doing now. So I think if I have to say sacrifice, probably time. That's it. Probably time. Nothing else. Because I won't say money, man. I don't regret or feel like I sacrificed. It's been some things where I had to pick. Okay, do I go over here and speak and make a couple thousand, or do I go to the school and go to the play or go see Nutcracker? I will never exchange time for my children and the memories with them for money, because we're gonna always make money, always. So sacrifice anything else? I don't think so, man. Maybe some relationships, maybe my significant other missing that sacrifice, but we won't talk about that one on this show.
I think Ramon. And we're gonna touch on that just a little bit. I think that's a big one, because I think sometimes when you have a drive and a vision as big as yours, everybody's not willing to go along on that journey.
Everybody's not.
Yeah. So you gotta execute it. So sometimes I can see that as being a sacrifice, that they just don't understand that drive and that tenacity you have to be great.
And I'm just gonna say it from a woman's perspective. There's only so long a woman is gonna go without, because women are used to having everything in order, everything for the kids. So it's only so long that they're gonna believe in you and go without, for they're just like, listen, this is enough.
Yes.
So it is hard from a relationship standpoint, because it gets to that point where they just like, I'm done. You killing me with your dreams.
Yes, and also that's probably one of my cheat codes is we did it together. Like we learned together, we came up together, and it is not like, did I have a vision? Yes, but it's not like her vision in line with my vision. So I'm not forcing nothing on her. I'm not taking her out of her element. Like her visions align, so it's a whole lot easier when you come up together and your visions align, and you got that same drive. And sometimes she got more drive than me. As crazy as that sounds, so it's like we kind of got a cheat code. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah, which is beautiful though. Again, that's why I tell you I admire y'all, man. Like it's a beautiful thing, man. You know what I mean? And we all gonna have our differences, but y'all are growing and learning, man, and praying on how to make those differences, be like a magnet where it's attractive, and y'all gotta hang in there. Y'all are younger than me, man, but I do admire how y'all building the family. I do admire how y'all, hanging in there. And I know it's been some tough days. It's been some days where Tonio want to get in the car and go up the street. There's been some days Ashley want to get in the car and go up the street. But in order to make this thing right and build true generational wealth for those children and enjoy life, you got to hang in there.
Got to hang in there.
Absolutely.
Got to.
All right. So Miss Kathy said you always need me time to refresh once a week. If you can find time in it, make it happen.
Make it happen.
Make it happen. At least 30
minutes. I have a lot of me time. Yeah, I have a lot of me time though. I do make sure I read a lot, so I like to read. Right now I'm reading the book 0 to 100 Million by Masterson, and I'll spend 30 minutes. I'll stop and just go pull up somewhere. I keep the book probably in the car with me, so that is my me time. You know what I mean? So you do need it. You got to relax that. Okay. You got to break away from everybody.
All right, give me one nugget you done learned so far from the book.
Okay.
Just one.
From that book, man, it's for every stage, for every level, there's gonna be a new pain. And you gotta understand that pain so you can address it.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Yeah. That was
so you know what's crazy? The book breaks it down by money. So from like companies from 0 to 1 million, then from 1 million to 5, I think, then 10 to 50, then maybe 50 over, like the major 4 levels. Every one of them gonna require something. Everyone is gonna change a team member, because everybody that's at from 0 to 1 million, not that we're gonna leave you, but you may not have the same vision, the same work ethic, I may need somebody to go from 1 million to 100 million. I got to get a marketing company. I can no longer do the marketing, and mama, sister, brother, y'all can no longer do the marketing because y'all don't know what it looks like to market $100 million company. Just you don't have the skill set. And we some good looking people, but it's only gonna take us so far. At some point, we got to go get the people that do it. We got to go get the marketing agency. We got to go get the accounting firm that can allow me to go from doing a deal that's $1 million to a deal that's 150 million. It's a totally different animal. Now, for me, I'm gonna take somebody like Brian and talk to Brian, and Brian gonna talk to him. But I know that that's gonna get us to that 150 million, $200 million company. It's just a whole different level, and that's a new pain though, because now you got to trust people. Now you gotta, you hear the horror stories about, I think, who was it, Steve Harvey? The accountants had taken one of them like a ton of money, and they didn't see it until they got the new accountants. Well, guess what? That's what happens. And so I think, like I said, going from one level to the next, gonna be some pain. Don't think it won't be. You'll know it.
What was the name of the book again, and by who?
It's 0 to 100 million. The guy's last name is Masterson. I thought I had it with me.
Okay.
I was reading it earlier. It's a heck of a book.
I need to read that one. To read that one now. Yeah. All
right. It's such a question to wait a little bit. So Frank said, everyone asks for receipts. Who's more important, a person with receipts or experience?
I'm gonna say it's the same. I'm gonna say it's the same person. I'm gonna say, because if you got the experience, you got to show me you got the experience. How do I know you got experience if you don't have the receipts for the experience? So the person with experience with receipts, I know, Frank. I know. I mean, in order to say you got the experience, you got to be able to show the receipt. You got to show me something. You got to show projects. You got to have some good testimonies. You got to have some, some settlement statements, whatever it is you're talking about the experience in. But I think that's the same person.
All right. Frank said receipts can be fabricated.
So can a resume.
But I think if you can talk about it with the receipts, then you know that there's some experience behind it. You can talk about something
for the most part.
Experience.
Yeah, for the most part.
In detail.
Yeah, details.
In details. I mean, some people are good that they can, but it's not on average someone can talk about it in details.
Here is the challenge though. If newbies don't know the difference. So if you're talking about like mentors, they don't know the difference in somebody that can talk a really good game and somebody's got a good experience. And I see it every day. Like this, I got to tell you this story right quick. So I was wholesaling a deal 2 weeks ago, and our contract ran out. So the guy that was buying it from me, they understood everything. Guy sold it that we were buying it from. It was crazy. But my guy was selling to somebody else, and she just went berserk, right? And I told her, here's the thing. She went calling me on social media, and I was like, I don't have a contract with you, so I really don't have to talk to you, but because you're a young lady, I'll talk to you. And the person that she was buying it from, they probably could have stopped her from calling me, maybe not. But she was talking to somebody else that sounded good, that had some, I'm gonna say receipts, like y'all said, receipts, but they didn't really have it. So she wanted to reach out to me because she saw I don't show a lot of like, oh man, this is a settlement statement, this is a check, I don't do that, but she understood who we were. And so she wanted to talk to me, but I wouldn't talk to her because she went through another mentorship program. And all I could say to her was, I believe it's going to work out for you, and I wish you the best. You know what I mean? But I don't have anything to do with what's happening. Like it's not on my end. You know what I mean? Because I've done what I'm supposed to do on my end. So again, that was the difference between, like, I could have pulled her into our program, but I didn't want to because she was already talking to somebody, and I want her to learn the difference in who you're talking to, who you're paying. Again, I can't vouch for them, but I can't go against them either. I didn't even really know them, so I wasn't You know, I'm not that person, but they have the receipts, but not the experience. Now that was a difference.
I feel like a lot of people are out here coaching, leading people that don't really have experience, but they may have done one, maybe I would say they could have done 5 to 10 deals and they want to teach others. I don't knock it because I feel like sometimes newbies need to, they're closer to the newbie and they're closer from a goal perspective. So I don't knock it. As long as what I read, you are 2 steps ahead of your students, then you can coach them. So
Yes.
everybody's not gonna gravitate to everybody, but they're gonna gravitate to someone. And as long as you're 2 steps ahead, you can coach them. Before
And
I
then
can't tell you
they
I
need to have
coached
a
them.
coach. And we all need to have coaches though. We need mentors and coaches.
Bingo.
Like I'm looking for a new one right now. And I'm not looking for the most popular person. I'm not looking for, you know, no knock on the Grant Cardone. I can learn a lot from him, but that wouldn't be my coach. Like I'm not gonna pay you that much money. Could you help me because of your relationships? Yes, but I'm looking for something different. You know what I mean? And so I'm interviewing people right now because I was in the mentorship program last year that I'm still in. It wasn't real estate. It was to help my presence and presentation more, right? Help me build relationships. But I am looking for a real estate coach right now. Like I want somebody that can take us from doing a couple hundred units, you know, here and there to, you know, that 10,000 units in like multifamily. Like who is that person that, and I know that I got to pay for it, but I'm not going to pay. Like I was on an interview yesterday with a guy and I was like, bro, this is some bullshit. Like I'm finna get on the phone with you. Like I'm not sending you my money. And I hear bullshit in the background. You know what I mean? Like I'm not, and I don't mean like noise in the background, but just from them talking to me, I was like, y'all are where I am. And that won't work for me. I need to be able to, I want somebody that can really coach me. Even if we only meet 3 times this year or 4, like every quarter, that's all I need because I'll be able to then take my students they going with me to 10,000 units. I'm not going by myself. So until we get that point, it's going to be a different struggle. That's that pain going from where we are to 10,000 units, 15,000 units, or 10,000 single families, whatever that is, like whatever our goals are. So I'm looking for a mentor right now, and it is very challenging. Whew.
That was, I mean, you got to remember, Ramon, you a big dog, so it's kind of hard to find a big dog. I mean, it goes to big dog.
And especially when it comes to real estate, because most people who start off being an investor in real estate before they coach, they probably don't end up as still a real estate investor. It's not that many that are really doing real estate at a high level. A lot of them maybe are partnering, but as far as having a team, it's only a select few for real.
Yeah. But see, you know, it's some projects and some development stuff. I know that, you know, as we get older, we will be capital investors, creative idea investors. Like it's a project in Atlanta where I just read in the paper where they tore down one of the housing projects and they are looking for $40 million injection from, I guess, like maybe like feds or something where they need, it's probably $300 million project, but they want 40 million from somewhere. So I didn't get into it, but those are the projects at some point where we come into a Birmingham, I see 30 acres. We should be able to say, you know what, that's a 10-year development deal. Let's get together and do it. And then it's not an issue. You know what I mean? Right now, it ain't gonna happen. So we drive past those, but those are deals that we're not going from our one deal to the next. That's a deal that I know, okay, Antonio, ask me this one. It's like Atlantic Station or whatever it is. We're truly developing multifamily retail where we're keeping income and we're selling off things. It's got to be more than just what we're doing. And I know that person that's going to help me get from where we are to there is somebody special. And I don't know who it is. Probably somebody I've never met before, somebody we don't know, somebody that's sitting back in the cut, but I'm going to find them.
What's up, man? Your coach better always have a coach, baby.
Yes, if your coach doesn't have a coach, that's a big problem. Everybody should have a coach, and they should have multiple coaches. All right, so not just the coach on real estate, They need a coach in whatever else they're doing, a coach in marketing, a coach in building relationships, finding the money. There should be a coach for every part of your life. I know that's overwhelming, but I'm just being serious.
Yes.
All right.
Frank said, all right, which one is better? Is it setting goals or creating better habits? Frank,
Oh,
you
Frank, you
you on
like
the
Frank?
money today.
Woo, Frank. What's up, Frank? I know Frank. Setting goals or creating better habits. Creating better habits. Create. You set a goal and you got bad habits, you ain't never gonna reach it anyway. So I believe that if you create the habits, um, setting goals is a trap sometimes anyway, right? Because what happens is if you say, you know what, man, this year I want to lose 20 pounds, right? This year I want to lose 20 pounds by June 1st. I'm just gonna throw that out there. When you get to June 1st, if you haven't lost 20 pounds, you feel like you're a failure. So then you start eating cupcakes and Twinkies and cookies and stuff, right? And I think setting goals, some people, it puts a cap on what you can do. If you say, I just want 4 units, then that's all you're going to get is 4 units. But what if you're supposed to have 40 units? So I think creating those habits like discipline, no, I'm going to get up every day and do what I'm supposed to do. What if my goal is 4 units, but if I had the right habits, I can get to 40 units in the same time I can get to 4 units. So I guess I'm gonna say having those great habits is probably more important.
I agree. I totally agree.
All the questions. I got questions. Drop them in there. It's Saturday. So understand we ain't gonna be here all day. I got one question.
Okay.
Left
field
for me. It ain't left field.
Oh, okay.
All right. So this is my last question.
Okay, come on.
All right. What's your why, Ramon? Why do you hustle so hard? Why do you grind so hard? What's your why?
You know, I used to lie to myself and say my why was my children. I won't say lie to myself, but it evolves. Man, I want to live my God-given purpose. I want to be all that I was put on this earth to be. When I leave here, I want God to be like really happy that I was here and I did what I was supposed to do I ain't gonna say every single day, but overall, right? Because we all fall short. But I did what I was supposed to do. I made the impact that I was supposed to make. I took care of the people I was supposed to take care of. I left enough for my children and my grandchildren, who I hope I get to see my great grandchildren. I hope I'm here long enough. But I made the impact that I'm supposed to. So my why I go hard at it, one, I enjoy what I do. So a lot of times people say, dang, man, y'all going hard, but I'm enjoying it. There's some challenges that we got to defeat while we're in the middle of it. But my why truly is, man, I want to live out my God-given purpose. Ain't got nothing to do with my children are a part of it. But I used to say, because I want to be there for my kids. I want to, not really. Listen, when you have grown kids, you understand that they going to live their lives. And that time I'm 47, time goes by really fast. And so me living for them is not the answer. And I've learned that, we talk about when I took a little break in 2021 through 2022, but I started to think about I'm living for them and I need to be living for me. I need to be living and not just alive. And so when I say living, that's being what I'm supposed to be.
Man, this is like another podcast, left field, but you always bring the relationship part out of us. So like to what you just said, we learned that in a marriage, what would you call it?
Marriage on the Rocks.
A marriage group, small group that we was in.
But it was called Marriage on the Rocks.
Marriage on the Rocks. But it was a marriage
didn't even know. That's a whole nother story.
And they said one of the biggest issues with marriage is that the husband and wife start living for kids. Once the kids grow up and get out, they look at each other and they don't even know each other no more because everything was about the kids. So you have to make sure that it's always you two together as one and the kids follow. And the kids have to understand that mommy and daddy is one, and you guys come next. Because if the kids leave the nest and you just got to deal with mama and dad at that point, now it's like
you got to do a whole
new person. Like, I don't even know this person no more.
Yeah.
Like, who are you? When did you start liking this? Like, we don't even hang out no more. Like, we don't do nothing because we lived our life around our kids for 20 plus years. And it's like, damn, I don't even want to be here no more.
Yeah. I mean, you know what showed that too, though? The first part of the pandemic stressed out a lot of relationships because we're not, living the way we should be living right now. Because for me, the pandemic didn't really change my lifestyle because I'm always at home. I don't care how many offices we got. I love being at home. So I'm a person that I don't have to be out. The kids coming home, being at home, all day long. My older kids were here. So most of them, they don't talk to you no way when they're at home. So it was just like little man, but he's self-sufficient and the older kids help. So it didn't affect me a lot. Now, again, I don't have a significant other, but my lifestyle didn't change because of that. So I wasn't stressed out. I actually got a little bit more rest when there was that time because I wasn't waking up. I got to run to pick you up. I got to drop you off. I got to pick you up from school. Got to be on time. It was actually, for me, a very good time because I didn't have to do all of that stuff.
That was deep.
Oh my gosh. Y'all dropped some questions. All right. Frank has a question. People.
Hey, Frank, hold on. Frank, tell Frank to cash out me.
He said he needs you to cash up him for these jewels, Frank.
Boy.
All right. People, what do you, it's a statement, but I think we could turn this into a question. People rather be popular than profitable. What's your thoughts on that? Is it better to be popular or profitable?
So let me say this. I'm going to always say profitable, right? But here's what's happened in this new social media thing. You can be very profitable if you're popular, but what is it going to take for you to become popular? Are you willing to do the sacrifices that it's going to take to become popular? So now most people don't want to do what it takes to become popular because it's not just going live. It's not just being cute. It's not just being, handsome. I can run. I'm a good looking dude. That's not it. It's about timing. So I'm going to pick profitable over popular any day. Because honestly, y'all, I truly wish that, I would be okay with having a couple of $1 billion and none of y'all knew me. So that's what I'm saying. It's profitable. But we got to get out here and do what we got to do. But definitely for me, profitable. But now things turn with the right products and things, the people that are popular can become more profitable. I ain't gonna say more profitable, but they can become very profitable because they are popular. And that's confusing to some people, right? But I prefer to be profitable, like literally.
I'm good. Ashley? Come here, Ashley. Yes.
The boss is in the house.
You want to ask the wrong question?
Hey! Hey, beautiful.
Hey.
How you doing?
Good.
You want to ask Ramon a question?
We don't know what you said.
That was sign language.
You swear?
You don't have a question.
Okay. You said you want your mom and daddy to give you $1 million?
He don't know what you said.
That's sign language. You gotta speak.
I did not say that.
You did not say that. What do you want? What do you want? You just want to go put your puzzle together?
I put baby blocks together.
Okay.
But they grow up so fast.
Yes.
They grow up so fast. I know. Whew.
Oh, you put a puzzle together. Okay, you show them your puzzle.
Mm-hmm. That's so nice.
Oh boy. All right. Well, I know it's Saturday. I know you got to get out of here. One thing I do want you to tell the people about, and I know you probably don't want to, but I'm gonna twist your arm and force you to tell them is we went live a couple weeks ago and you introduced the challenge. What was that challenge? What when you talk about coming to people's cities and that type of stuff, man? Talk to me about that. Man.
So, you know, and we're working on it. But a full day, being able to spend a day with me and the team, where, you know, really I'll come to any city, you know, and spend a day with you and give you everything that's in my brain, all my resources. And it's called A Day with Ramon. And we're gonna take 10 of them this year. We decided we're not gonna take more than 10 because I know that it's gonna be a lot. It's a lot of moving. It's gonna be a lot. It takes a lot to prepare for somebody. We actually have one person that we may accept because this is an interview process. If me spending the whole day one-on-one with you, or you and your significant other, you and your family, I know it's got to be the right feel because it's not just about I got the money. So we came up with that because, man, a lot of people need that, like that culture shock. I mean, that submersion into it. And I'll give you everything I got in one day, and I can do it in 12 hours. I can, you know, we can make your company be what it's supposed to be with a couple of follow-up calls.
So you want to
go? You got. I know you're gonna say.
So when I tell you this was 2021 January, Ramon came into the office and he met Tonio in the field first, and Antonio, he was fussing at Tonio about things that Antonio was taking for granted, things that he felt like we missed out on from an opportunity as far as just being real estate investor and not really teaching people how to really do what we're doing. So Antonio wasn't being receptive like Ramon wanted him to be. So he said, you know what? I'm coming back on such and such date. I need Ashley to be there. Literally, I had a notepad and Ramon wrote down 7 ways, and not really just wrote down, like he broke down 7 streams of income that we need to make sure that we acquire into our lives that all relate around real estate, to not just be focusing on one way to make money in real estate. He also challenged us to be coaches. He challenged me to write an ebook, which I did. You get.
Come back over here. Come back over here. Go back in your house spot and come back over.
Come on. Slide to the left. There you go. Thank you. He really challenged us. So can Ramon do that? Absolutely. You want to tell him how much you made the first year?
You could tell him.
Go ahead. You was all talking today.
That ain't my part of the business. Okay. I don't like.
Just know.
I don't like that. I just know that he helped us way more than $10,000. I wasn't even the whole day. Just know
way more than 10xing.
Yes, what we was doing.
Yes.
So if you trying to go to that next level, if you trying to really grow what you're doing, holla at Ramon. I'm telling you, man, and you won't be disappointed.
Because I can't imagine what a whole day looks like.
Oh my God!
What we got in an hour.
Overwhelming.
I just can't imagine. Like, you gonna leave with your stuff in order. You have to.
Agree. And
with a different mindset at that.
Yes.
Because I think the first part is that mindset. Kathy say, sign me
up. All right, we're gonna close out with Frank question.
All right, so Frank says, Pauline said 100 grand maybe. No, I said it was more than 10x. So it was more than 10x.
Oh, somebody count y'all money.
All right, Frank said, does delayed gratification apply to every part of your life or just material things? Frank, you in your bag today.
Stay in his bag. Let me tell you about Frank. Well, I ain't going to talk about Frank today, but so it really applies to my entire life. Like, and I don't want to say just material things, but when I say my life, like instead of me buying, there's a loft. Like I like floor to ceiling windows, like windows that are 10 to 12 feet high from floor to ceiling. And so, yeah, I want a loft, but I delayed buying a $400,000 loft until I find a building. Like I'm looking for a warehouse so we can develop the warehouse. So it goes to all aspects of my life, truly. Like not just like a car or some kind of car. And I've had every kind of car. So like when we was talking about this, I was renting cars back in like 2006, 2005, and we had every car that you can imagine. So I was raised around a different lifestyle, so I don't get impressed by stuff. So it's not material things. I don't know anything material that I even care to have right now. I want to make sure that, like as you said, the challenges. I think my delays come because I like to be challenged. So like my next challenge is being able to take our business to a level where we got $100 million valuation, and then when I know when we get to the 100 million. We'll be like, man, if we got to 100 million, we need to be a billion, right? We got to, because somebody is doing it on a regular basis, the stuff that we're talking about. And I always say, why not me? So that's that challenge. That's that competitiveness in me. You know what I mean? And so I think that's why I delay things, just so I can reach that next goal. And when I reach that goal, it's always enough. Like my goalposts move every time I get to a first down. It's just the way it is. Every time.
I've never hit the goal.
Ramon has a podcast that's on
YouTube, Spotify,
and Apple. Yep.
Called Delayed Gratification. We did a great episode. We're gonna drop it
as you self-promote yourself.
Look, we did a great episode. I really enjoyed it, honestly.
You really enjoyed it.
I enjoyed it.
So you know when the numbers go up, it's because Antonio's rewatching it.
Yeah, no.
Oh, okay.
Not all the time.
That's a good thing, though.
If you want to hear us podcast, I'm gonna drop it in there. Our person who normally would Tennessee in the snow, so I got to drop it in there today.
Yeah, you know, Yasmin lives her best life.
Yeah, so go check it out if you need some motivation and things of that nature.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Ramon, I thank you for coming on. You guys, I thank you for staying. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe. Share it to others. We will see you on Monday. Same place, same time. If you haven't got your tickets for the conference yet, we have 20 tickets that are left. Make sure you put in the Denmark. Make sure you put in Denmark's for 50% off. You can get it from using this QR code that's right here on the screen, or you can just go to Eventbrite and type in Simple Sexy Flipping Conference, and it'll come up. And to see, once we hit this 20, we're closing it out for good. So,
yeah, and don't be mad at me when you try to walk up and I tell you ain't no more space.
Absolutely,
it ain't my fault. It's your fault now.
Hey, they'll learn. They'll learn their lesson.
They'll learn.
Right.
They'll learn next time.
All right. Frank says, stay focused.
It's time to go, Frank.
And we will see you guys later. Thank you.
Y'all have a great Saturday.
Thank you for everything.
Yes, you too. Enjoy
Thank y'all.
yourself, bro.
Oh, yeah. Y'all too.
All right.
Peace. Thank you.
sound.com.